Graphic design, social media, marketing, branding? Check out our sponsors Vision Byte Creative Design Studio on visionbyte.co.uk to find out more and use code APE20 for 20% off your first order. Yo, what's going on, people? It's your boy Huncho, and this is Cases Season 1, Episode 5, the Rhyhiem Barton case, aka GB, from Moscow17.
How they gonna make it even? How? Yeah, gang done 2 L's up on your estate and left your little boy bleeding. What happened, dog?
Ja, die man. GB. Ja, die man. Wow.
Rhyhiem Barton, age 17, more known by his alias GB, was a part of a UK drill music group, Moscow17. I've already previously spoken on Moscow17 before in regards to Sadiq Kamara, aka Incognito. But for you guys that don't know, Moscow17 is a UK drill music group out of South London, but more specifically, the Brandon estate. As previously stated, Moscow17 are most known for their alliance to Kennington-based UK drill music group Warham Spartans and their rivalry with Peckham-based UK drill music group Zone 2. It's said from young that GB was known to have shown a keen interest in music, and his family said he was naturally gifted, but despite the promise shown in music, when GB was 8 years old, he'd been excluded from school. And by the age of 15, he attended 5 different schools, and because of this, he met Sace Holmes Lewis, who works with challenging children. GB's godmother, Lacey Main, has previously stated that GB had been chased by suspected Zone 2 gang members with swords and machetes. In 2018, she had gone on to tell reporters the violence had been going on for 3 years, and referring to Zone 2, she said that they come and randomly attack people on the estate. Referring to an incident that had happened in 2017, she recalls Zone 2 gang members chasing GB into a home, and she says that they had broke down her gate and they were standing outside with their machetes and swords. She said that they had screamed, "We want Rhyhiem, we're going to kill them, send him out." But she replied, "I will not send out a child for a killing." And it should also be noted that when GB was 15, he had nearly lost his life after being stabbed inches away from his heart after leaving the Brandon estate to go into a neighbouring borough, but no one was ever charged with that offence. GB was one of the main rappers out of Moscow17, and one of his songs he was featured on, called Moscow March, was one of the first UK drill songs to reach 1 million views, and many people would put this in their top 10 all-time UK drill songs. In this song, there's many lyrics taunting rival Zone 2, with GB even directly taking a shot at Zone 2 rapper PS.
Do and Dash got things and pants. Took out the things and it's got dash. P got dread time 2, it's mad 4 man face 20 and the man they dash. Bang and slang, Pats get slang, can shit and he chat. They don't win the bread, them boy they're tramp. Them boy there are champs.
When his mentor, Sace Holmes Lewis, had come across the music video, he approached GB's mum, Pratana Morgan. And when Sace had approached GB's mum, he's quoted as saying, "This is what your son's up to, and this is the final straw. He needs to get rid of this is too much negativity, he's gonna get himself hurt." Sace goes on to explain on the BBC Panorama episode, which covered the story of GB's murder, that this was one of the main reasons to send GB to Jamaica to get him out of what he thought was pending danger. And in May of 2017, GB had been flown out to Jamaica, where he stayed with his uncle Sean, and he would stay with him for 10 months.
This is GB in yard, holding up vibes, aka GB, holding it down. Luke Naya, big up, big up, big up, big up, big up.
His family had tried to persuade him to stay in Jamaica, but he was determined to come back to the UK to follow his music career with Moscow17, and in February of 2018, he was back in the UK. And within 3 months of arriving in the UK, Rhyhiem Barton, aka GB, had sadly passed away.
A 17-year-old boy has died after being shot in Southwark in South London. Officers, including police, firearms and air ambulance, attended the scene. The victim was pronounced dead just before 7 o'clock last night. The next of kin has been informed. As yet, no arrests have been made.
My thoughts are with the Rhyhiem's family, friends and the wider community at this devastating time. Our homicide team are carrying out an investigation which is fast-paced and progressing all the time. Anyone with information is asked to contact the incident room on 0208 721 4005 or anonymously through Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111.
On May the 5th, 2018, police were called to report of shots fired on Cooks Road, Kennington at around 6:05 p.m. When they arrived, they found Rhyhiem Barton Aka GB on nearby Warham Street with gunshot injuries. Medics from London's ambulance service fought hard to keep him alive, but he was unfortunately pronounced dead at the scene at 6:56 p.m. It's been said that GB was helping his former care worker Sace Holmes-Lewis coach a local football team. He said to have continued playing football after the session, and it's been alleged that between then and 6:05 p.m. that Zone 2 members were driving around the area with a shotgun and fired 2 shots, one hitting a nearby window of a house and one had hit GB in the chest. He had managed to stagger to nearby Warham Street, where he had collapsed by the block of flats he lived at and then was unfortunately pronounced dead at the scene 50 minutes later. Officers remained on the scene the following morning with police tapes surrounding much of the area around Aberfeldy House, and detectives from Metropolitan's Police Homicide and Major Crime Command were investigating and urged anyone in the area of Aberfeldy House at the time of the shooting to contact them, and at that point there had been no arrest. A post-mortem examination was held on Monday the 7th of May 2018, and that gave the cause of death as a gunshot wound. His godmother, who had previously helped him escape from an attack from Zone 2 in the past, said she believed it wasn't Zone 2 behind GB's murder, and she had told reporters there have been incidents with boys coming to a nearby youth club in the area, adding, "So where is safe then from these people that can cause so much havoc?" But his mother told reporters that she was sat in the park on the day of his murder when she heard someone say the Peckham boys are around, referring to Zone 2. She said she came looking for GB, and a girl said she saw boys running up and down. His mum then claims she seen armed police surround GB with guns over him. She claims he was targeted by Zone 2, who terrorised the Brandon estate in a silver BMW armed with a shotgun on Friday the 4th of May 2018 and Saturday the 5th of May 2018. On the BBC Panorama documentary about GB, local neighbours gave their testimony of events of what happened to GB on the day he was murdered. One neighbour, who wished not to be named, had said on that day she was standing on a balcony, she saw a group of boys and they was arguing, and then she had a bang, and then she saw the boy, talking about GB, hold his chest with his 2 hands, and then they started running in all different directions. Then his friend had came over shouting "please don't die," which then she saw him collapse right there, and at that point in the documentary she had pointed to where GB had sadly passed away. A day after his passing, his mother came out to address reporters in a powerful speech about GB being an example of the impact that his death has had on his community, and that his death should be a call for a stop to the violence between the two areas. But it should be noted that only a few months later, Sadiq Kamara, aka Incognito, who we previously covered, was stabbed to death yards away from where GB had been shot. But again, as previously stated, it's unsure whether his death is because of the Zone 2 Moscow17 beef. And it would only be 3 weeks after Incognito's death, another 4 males would go on to be stabbed near the Brandon estate.
Let this be a stop. Zone 2, please just stop it now. Make my son be the last and be an example to everyone. Just let it stop. I do not interfere with their children. I do not putting them on curfew. I do not putting these children on curfew. Why you let them know after a certain time you don't mix the area together? Do not mix the area. Simple as that. You want to calm down things and keep everybody on one side till you know you sort it out. You can't be mixing up the area. You have to put a curfew. Everything is down Peckham. They got to store everything. Whatever is at Western, whatever is at Wolf Road, whatever is at Brixton, is at their spot. They can put curfew to let them know do not leave that area. And let this thing calm down. Get this thing resolved, man. Get it resolved. Where it come from? Why are you guys envying each other and jealous over each other? Why are you doing that? You're still maturing. You're still developing. You haven't finished yet. So don't watch now. Watch the future, because enough of you guys ain't going to be around enough of your friends them in 5 years' time. In 10 years' time, you probably don't even look enough at these friends. You got a different life to live. You got a family to sort out. You got children. You got a career. You got to sort out yourself. So enough of these people you're not going to see 10 years' time or 5 years down the line. So you better wake up now and know what you want for your future. I was a teenager too. Enough of my friends from teenage, I don't see them again. So this is what I'm trying to say. You better wake up. You only have one life. One life you got. You better make use of it.
Family and friends first visited GB to say their final goodbyes, and then some family members and close friends had flown out to Jamaica, where GB was finally laid to rest. The only arrest that's been documented was on the 10th of June 2018 of a 17-year-old male, but he was released under investigation. And this year will be the 2-year anniversary of GB's passing, and no one as of yet has been charged with the murder of GB. And that is the Rhyhiem Barton case, aka GB, from Moscow17. I just want to take this time out just to say rest in peace to Rhyhiem, and I want to pay my respects to his family, and my thoughts and condolences are with them at this current time. I just want to say in this case that Rhyhiem's family were treated extremely bad by police, and the community itself had to go out and actually clean up GB's blood from the floor, which I think is absolutely disgusting from the police's part. No mother should have to go out there to clean up their own son's blood, but seeing as 2 days had went by and no one had cleaned up the crime scene, the community took it upon themselves to go and clean the crime scene up. And we're seeing time and time again with these cases that no one's actually being charged with the murder of these people. And it's just crazy to think that, again, 2 years has gone by, like in the case with Latwan Griffiths, that no one has been arrested, and this will be the 2-year anniversary. And after his mum had put that powerful message out, the violence still had continued, with unfortunately Incognito losing his life, and 4 other people being stabbed near the Brandon estate. But yeah, if you like this series so far, give the video a little thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think of this in the comment section below. And if you want the latest drill, street and music news out of the UK, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. It's been your boy Huncho, and I'm out.